Have you ever seen glory in a tent? What's your experience of tents? Mine includes a week on Anglesey in a tent with another BB officer attempting to help run a camp while it poured with rain incessantly. And also a week at Teze with young people of different European nations when the sun shone. The latter experience was undoubtedly more enjoyable and taught me a lot. But glory? However, when John's Gospel tells us about how God's Son came to live among us, he says, "The Word became flesh and made his dwelling," literally, lived in a tent among us. We have seen his glory. But what is this glory we have seen? This is what John has been telling us in the part before this. This Word is the one who was there before creation and was God's partner in bringing the world to be. He is the light that shines in the darkness and evil of this world, and that darkness cannot overcome it or snuff it out. That light shines on every person and gives to everyone who will receive him the right to be a child of God. This person could be none other than God himself. But would you put up God in a tent? Apparently, God quite likes the idea. Throughout the time the Israelites were wandering in the wilderness, and even after they had entered the land, he lived in a tent, usually called the tabernacle, but tabernaculum is just Latin for tent. And he didn't seem that keen to move into a fixed building, even when David suggested the idea. Solomon built a temple, of course, but in Scripture, Solomon doesn't have as good a reputation as David for being in tune with God's wishes. But why should God like tents? Firstly, because they are humble. This is the entrance hall to the Winter Palace in St. Petersburg, which Empress Catherine the Great designed to fill her foreign visitors with awe. This architecture and ornamentation was meant to convince them that they were in the presence of one of the world's great powers and civilizations. Most nations have such a space. Britain has Buckingham Palace and the Foreign Office. The United States has the Capitol Building and the White House. But the greatest power of all preferred his earthly dwelling to be a tent, probably like a Bedouin tent. He is humble and accessible to us in our need, and far from cowing us into submission, he wants to be our friend. But secondly, tents are also portable. God and his glory is with us wherever we go. He is not tied to sacred places. Wherever we go, whatever trouble we may be in, we can talk to God, and he will listen and talk back to us. And he will help us. We can never wander outside his sphere of influence, because that sphere extends to every place.